How's everybody doing? Can you hear me out there? Are my audio levels good right now? We're going to be having a talk about some goings-ons in the activist community. Let me just check my audio levels over on Facebook and YouTube. Can you guys hear me just fine? Give me a 5x5 in the chat, please. Make sure, can you hear the music and everything?
Just journalism. It's war against the truth. And knows Mississippi's got blood on its hands. Let the record show.
Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? Microphone check. Microphone check. Can you hear the music?
They call it justice, but it's rigged from the gate. Cameras confiscated. Truth sealed by the state. Bad heavy hands trying to shutter the scene. When the press rolls through, they erase what we mean. Oxford debates feel they plot in the shade, feeding fear to the jurists while the charges get made. Folk dogs get arrested just for showing the lines, but who draws the lines? Who reaps the fines? I seen the smirk on the sheriff's face.
And I can't tell if the music is loud or not.
The footage, the facts, the First Amendment's light. Now we bring it back.
I'm gonna leave it right there. Do you guys like those music levels? Maybe I'll turn it up one more. Can you hear me? Can you hear the music? Before we get to talking about it, I have to check this because I'm a one-man operation. I don't have a sound guy.
Now imagine your lens becomes your noose. Each photo you snap could make you the accused. When journalism's tagged, criminal.
All right, I think that sounds good. All right, cool. I like those levels. Let's roll with it. Kind of loud in my ears over here. Turn this down. Perfect. Okay. So, I had a couple of updates about the community, guys. Fighting this music either. First, we do have some information about Chris Griffin. Chris Griffin is currently locked up in the Brevard County Detention Center, and his charges have been amended. So they took the firearms charge off. They increased the amount of bail he owes, I guess, and they're holding him just on traffic stuff now. So we write through the rain, the threats, the shame. Your courthouse steps gonna remember the name. You can just have to mute the music for a second. All right, I like that too. Make sure you guys can hear me. We'll listen to some music later. Well, guys, I want to welcome you back to Copwatch Chronicle. First of all, thank you for being here. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Kick tonight, and we're talking about breaking down the Josh Martinez case a little bit and maybe some community betrayal. I'm going to let you guys decide. I have talked to both my source and confirmed the information with whom it is about, and we will talk about it. And I need you guys to decide. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. First, we'll have an update about Chris Griffin. He may be bailable if we could get somebody who lives locally in Florida to go down to the bondsman with whatever money we can come up with. He has a $1,500 bond. If we can come up with that cash, we can get somebody to come in that'll go down there and sign him out. We can get Chris out of jail. There's no holds on him. I talked to the bail bondsman myself over at, I think it was American Bail Bonds in Cocoa. And so, yeah, for 1,500. Somebody comes down, signs the bonds papers, and we could get Chris out of there right now or really soon. That being said, thank you all for being here. If you like the content, please thumb it up or thumb it down, but definitely give us some criticism. If you don't like what you're hearing, I'm open for being educated. Before we dive into our main investigative feature, we need to address an urgent situation, guys, and that's Chris, okay? Here is where things stand with Chris Griffiths. That firearms charge against him has officially been dropped, and what remains on the docket are minor traffic-related matters. I think the most important one that I've seen that would still be on there is like multiple driving without a license after knowing that you were suspended or something like that. We could pull up the charges, the official charges here later, but for conversation's sake, I've heard that you could do a little time if you get popped in Florida for driving without a license multiple times. That might be what he's looking at. He has a court appearance scheduled for the 30th. And every indication points towards what I think will be his release after the 30th when he goes to court. They may give him like a continuance or something, but I think the charges will be basically resolved after that. Who knows? Right now, Chris is in custody. The barrier isn't a massive, unattainable bond, guys. It's just kind of a logistical hurdle. We need to come up with the $1,500 cash and a local Florida resident who can physically present the collateral at the bail bondsman office. That'll finalize his release and he'll be out. So if you're in Florida or have contacts with our network in the Sunshine State who can stop by the bail bondsman, please let us know in the chat tonight during the show. All right. If we're not going to bond him out, I think he'll probably be out in a week. It might be nice to just send him some messages and maybe make his life a little more comfortable in there with the care package. I'll show you guys how to do that. Now, the primary topic of the show, okay? I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I heard, and then we're going to talk about where we're at with all of this, okay? Our movement is built on a single foundation: transparency, right? We demand transparency from public officials, law enforcement agencies, and government bodies. Therefore, our community must hold itself to the same exact standard, right? When transparency is compromised internally, the entire foundation of independent media is threatened. The entire foundation of independent media gets threatened when we lack transparency, guys. If an activist or a journalist accepts a public role in police accountability, trust is non-negotiable, right? I remember when I first started doing this, I had rolled with a couple of characters, and I'm not a really trusting person. I didn't know these people intimately or nothing. And I was wondering, hey, if I'm rolling with these guys filming cops and one of them does something wrong, are they going to expect me to like freaking lie for them or something? Because I wasn't okay with that. And that was one of the first things I was worried about when I started out here. That trust is non-negotiable, right? Like, are the people watching the watchers trustable? You can't demand open cameras and public records from civil servants while maintaining secret agreements with prosecutors or law enforcement behind closed doors, right? Today, we're addressing some pretty serious allegations. I had somebody reach out to me with allegations regarding JP. This is a guy I rolled with in Las Vegas. He operated a YouTube channel. I think it was called Prince Vegeta News and Travel Las Vegas when I met him. You know, JP has been in our community. He's positioned himself as a participant in First Amendment police accountability, right? However, recent information regarding the state and federal legal proceedings against our colleague Josh Martinez in Las Vegas raise critical questions that demand a little public clarification, guys. It's been a little while since the Josh Martinez case, and I guess some stuff got swept under the rug along the way. The feds may have been helped by someone staying silent, and Josh might have been hurt. And most of all, was the trust of the First Amendment police accountability and transparency community affected by somebody not coming forward? Should JP have come forward if he was being questioned about testifying against Josh Martinez? That's the question that we have. If you guys out there in the viewer land, the netizens, if you guys think that if someone like me was pulled aside by the feds and questioned about Josh Martinez and testifying against him, would that be something you think I should tell you? And my answer is I think it is. But it wasn't me we're talking about. So this is the channel I was telling you. JP Prince Vegeta News allegedly had discussions with the investigators in the Josh Martinez case, and may have been subpoenaed to appear in court to testify against Josh Martinez at some point, which I have confirmed with JP himself tonight before the show. So that he was subpoenaed to testify against Josh Martinez is not an allegation. This is something that JP admits to, and I think it stands to reason that the feds aren't just going to subpoena somebody because it was going to hurt their case. You know, they didn't subpoena JP because it was going to help Josh Martinez. You know, they subpoena you because they think it's going to help their case against someone in court so they could prosecute them, right? So if a member of the accountability community cooperates with law enforcement or state prosecutors in an investigation against other activists, that fact must be disclosed transparently to the community. Am I right? JP should have come forward to each and every person that was supportive of his actions, people who also supported Josh Martinez, James Freeman, and all the other online police accountability activities, right? So you've got the trust of this community, and you owe them an answer, a press release about, hey, the feds are like trying to prosecute our friend Josh Martinez, and the reason I know is because they wanted me to help them, but I wasn't going to because I think Josh is a great guy or something. How come you couldn't just tell us that, man? Like, I don't understand. When I asked JP that very question, he said, now let me get this right. JP says he told Josh, and that's all that mattered. That's his official statement on the matter, guys. So that's why I wanted to reach out to y'all. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Let me go over to the comments on Facebook. Close my screen right there. All right, I'm not seeing anybody on Facebook. I could go over to the YouTube comments real quick. Yeah, tell me how you guys feel. If we're practicing activism and police accountability, and then the police contact us, shouldn't we be telling our community what's going on, or no? What are your guys' thoughts on full disclosure? Tell me what you think. Should anyone working with prosecutors or investigators be required to inform the public immediately? Sound off in the comments, man. My Mac is taking forever to load. We got good audio still? Check it out. Good audios. I'm not seeing any chats. I'm going to set a chat goal here. I will sing Happy Freak the Cops Day if we reach the chat goal. And I will put the money on Chris's books. Oh, yeah. I did take care of Chris Griffith's storage unit today. It was only $11 a month, but I put it on my credit card. So he won't have to worry about his property. If anything comes up, maybe he gets sent to California or something after this. He won't have to worry about that storage. I don't know what's going to happen with the car because they want documents that need to be notarized. And Chris says he's having a hard time with the paperless jail system. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but they won't let him have papers, I guess, documents and stuff. They scan him into the system, and he needs a notary. So the notary doesn't have forms to give him, and he doesn't have a way to get the forms. Like if I mailed the forms to him, I have the forms right here, limited power of attorney documents. But if I mail these to him, he doesn't get the document. He gets a picture of it on his tablet. So this won't do him any good. I was going to mail that to him today, but beyond court documents, we must look at patterns of behavior in the field. Over time, several unusual incidents has occurred that warranted closer examination. First, consider field availability. On one occasion, after arranging a joint recording session with me and JP, Prince Vegeta News Now, I rode the bus as a hungry homeless person all the way across town without a meal to meet with JP because I was excited to film with him. And when I got to his residence, he didn't answer the door, man. He didn't want to come out. And like I thought I heard somebody mute the music and shit, right? And look out the blinds. But yeah, he didn't open the door, and so I went downstairs and sat at the power box. And a few moments later, Jamie, his girlfriend, walked in the house. And she seen me outside. So after she walked in, about 5 minutes later, she walked out. And she goes, yeah, he's in there, and he didn't want to answer the door or something like that. So, you know, she confirmed that he was inside the entire time. In field operations, basic communication and reliability are critical for safety, right? Second, I gotta say, I've worked with JP, and in my own experience, I can speak to that. I was actually being pursued across Las Vegas one night in a very high stress situation where I was pretty sure that people were trying to harm me. And I did ask JP for some assistance, and he came, which was super duper. I thought like I was saved. But he drove me like a mile away and dropped me off on the street. And then I was still chased the rest of the night for like 8 more hours or something like that. So when activists are in the field, mutual aid and safety must be consistent, right? Not performative. Yeah, JP picked me up. He dropped me off. I later heard that he said some bad things about me, actually, that I don't even want to repeat online, but it just wasn't the saving grace that I thought it was when I got picked up that night. Yeah, I just put right back in the street with people chasing me. Thirdly, there was another time I remember I was downtown on one of the days when Auditing America was going to come to town. And this character, it was before I found out all about him and his record that he has. I do have a 47-page case file on Auditing America here on my phone. If anybody wants it, let me know in the comments. We could drop that criminal record right there for you. Anyways, before I knew about all that stuff, Auditing America was coming to town. I was an up-and-coming YouTuber. I wanted to make a name for myself, and I wanted to record with Auditing America. And I think it was Chase and JP were all going to the police departments. And yeah, so I was downtown already auditing, just waiting for these guys to get to town. They were supposed to come meet up with me, but JP never called me and shit, man. Apparently, I guess somewhere in the mix, Auditing America didn't want to film with me. He didn't want me to outshine him or something. And he's got a really delicate ego, this Auditing America. And anyways, no one thought to just tell me to not wait around for them. And they subsequently got arrested that day. I'm not happy about it because if I was there, I was the better local guide for these guys. They got arrested for jaywalking, and that was sort of a Las Vegas thing. So I knew not to do that. They never would have went down if I had been with them. Well, I guess only the ones that didn't listen to me would be. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tell me, have you guys ever had experienced red flags or sudden changes of a plan during field activities? Share your experiences in the chat, would you? Let's check out Chris. Here's a picture of Chris with his little one. If you guys have anybody, you know anybody in the Florida area, in the East Florida, Brevard County area, would you share the stream with them at least? Maybe you could reach out to them and see if they would be willing to bail this guy out of jail before his entire life falls apart. I mean, I've been there when you're in jail, and Eric was doing a live stream trying to come up with bail money, and you guys all got me out of jail. I mean, I've been there, man. And so I understand what it's like. And I just wanted to try to help this person. Hold on. I always forget this. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Anyways, I was hoping that we could help Chris out. Let's get him out of jail. If not, we could work, we could get some money donated, and we could have a little dough for him to get his car out of impound. Help him get his car out of impound when he gets out. I'm hoping he'll be released in like a week if we're not able to bond him. The music I presented tonight is by Don Matthews, one of our activists in the Gulf Coast area, on his Gadadala tour. He's promoting his album, Bad Actors, which has, I think, 17 songs on the first. Bad Actors Volume 1 has 17 tracks. He hasn't released Volume 2 yet, but if you guys want to check it out over at badactors.online, he'll be on his tour in the Galveston, Texas area until August 31st. This man needs a little bit of help. Let me make sure you guys can see what I can see. We need more help than we could give him, though. This guy probably needs help from the veteran community. He needs help with housing, a vehicle, and just to basically, he's messed up, man. I hope he's not upset with me saying that. Like, he's seen some stuff in the military that messed him up, and apparently is made stuff really hard for him. So, yeah, just advocating for Don Matthews and hoping that this man, he works really hard for the community. Like I said, he's made 17 songs on this one volume about police accountability. Great songs. Here, we'll play some. Try to mute this tab. Actually, because we got it on BandLab over here. If I just open up the BandLab on my phone and hit the MacBook, we should have some sound. Let me see. Turn it up.
Yeah. Yo, They told me sit down, but I pulled the chair. Told them I'm the wrong one to frame, I swear. Back in 2017 they drew first blood. Called it stalking, fabricated mud. No mayor involved, just a target on
Hey, you know, I think that might be his actual voice, man, right there. It sounds like it might be him trying to rap, man, honestly.
me. Cause I spoke too loud in the land of the free. Oxford, Mississippi. Deep in that game, twisting laws like ropes, tying up my name. Sessions on the move, McCutcheon in the mix. All eyes on me when I'm speaking in clicks. Took the plea, forced hand, family to protect. But they kept on pushing, disrespect on deck. Jeff Busby smirking, cut door closed. I ask about judges, the whole scene froze. Joey East waiting outside like a plot. Civil written hand, another twisted shot. Next day script, commitment by lies. Alcorn's affidavit, didn't even try.
Hey, I'll admit, man, I didn't know it was him making music on this. I thought it was like AI or something, but this legit sound like his voice.
No eval, no call, no care, no proof, just got me locked while they celebrated troops. Little signing order like it was nothing. Didn't blink once, just rubber stamp bluffing. Going into below, padded cell in sight, North Mid State Hospital, taking my rights. I walked out different, but I ain't done. Called Alcorn direct, put truth on run. She told me the sheriff asked her to file, so I dropped a grievance that traveled a mile. Sent it to Rogers, to Little, to court. Within 24 hours, they struck with force. Second affidavit, same play, more dirt. This time I'm snatched while my wife's.
This ain't just journalism.
Oh, yeah, there's one.
It's war against the truth. And North Mississippi's got blood on its hands. Every camera lens is a loaded weapon. Let the record show. We're done being silent. Silent thinkers think we speak, we rise, we march. Flashing like steel cuffs, true behind the bars. Darks in our names, playing dirty in the dark. But we pin our pain in verses, this is where it starts. Silent thinkers think we fight, we bleed, we write. We shut the steps of.
Oh, okay. I could hear that the audio isn't that great on that, guys. I'm sorry. It wasn't sounding like that in my headphones. I guess the volume's kind of going up and down on that. So if you guys want to hear those songs, you got to go check them out on the Bad Actors album, man. You can search Bad Actors on Google and Bad Actors, the album. I think it comes right up. He's on Spotify and all over the place. So check him out. That's Don Matthews. Got a dollar tour with this Bad Actors album, guys. And I wanted to go over here. If you guys didn't know who Josh Martinez was, I think you do, though, because James Freeman used to talk about him. Looks like just about everybody we know used to talk about James Freeman on our friends list. So, I mean, not James Freeman, Josh Martinez. Let's see. Boom. I'll show you who Josh Martinez is. This is Josh Martinez. This was a peoplesrights.org activist with the Bundys, and he posted a meme in Las Vegas about a police officer. It was this meme right here. How police officers take out their trash. He may have had some text on there about a specific officer, as I recall. And that something about he couldn't wait until the freedom seed was planted in the ground. That's how I remember it. Anyways, yeah, that got Josh 4 felony charges. He was brought up on, I think he had terrorism charges or something. And so they gave him $1 million bond, all for posting a meme, guys. Josh Bassler here says, I'm quite certain he would appreciate a letter if you have some time. I just sent him a letter a few days ago. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, he's got some I guess some information here for Josh Martinez. Look, Corey Moore had posted about him. We should all be supporting Josh way more than we are. Please, friends, spread the word. Share this far and wide. So you guys make sure you share this over to Corey Moore if you're watching on Facebook. Let's get that over to get this stream over to him. Let's get him in the chat. Let's talk about it. Hey, Corey, we're Facebook friends, man. What do you think? If Josh Martinez was being hunted by the feds and then J.P. Abrams knew about it, this guy, Liberty Lens Audits, if he knew about it and he didn't tell the community, is that bad? Should he have told us? Is that right that he goes out and films with our people and he doesn't tell us about what's going on? They could hurt the feds potentially to just let us know what they're doing. Maybe there's more of us they're investigating or something. Maybe you could just give us one little cookie crumb, man. You know? But instead, he says, I told Josh that's good enough. That's what he tells me today. And I was just wondering what you guys think about that. Should this dude, should he be telling people if he's got a subpoena from the feds or the state and they're going to have him testify against Josh Martinez, but then maybe at the last minute they don't need him to testify, so he doesn't tell anybody and he just keeps it between him and Josh? What do you guys think about that? Let me check the comments again over here in case anybody said something. Just making sure. If you want to leave a super chat, we can also send messages to Chris Griffin inside if you guys have a message. I know a lot of people have been turning on him and they think that he was like this bad guy committing crimes and stuff, and I'm not exactly entirely sure that's correct, guys, to be honest. Super Dad here was trying to set up a visit with his kids, from what I understand, when he was pulled over by a police officer. And he maybe didn't have a driver's license, I'm thinking, guys. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, he got caught driving, and the police officer charged him with crimes that he wasn't supposed to. You know, felon in possession of a firearm.
I am being charged with license, registration, insurance. My car is being towed at this present moment, and I'm about to be sent to the Brevard County Jail. If there is anybody out there,
how the hell he's able to make a freaking Facebook.
I was pulled over for a cracked windshield, and I am being charged with license, registration, insurance. My car is being towed at this present moment, and I'm about to be sent to the Brevard County Jail. If there is anybody out there who is able to, willing to assist in getting me the hell out of jail, that would be wonderful and appreciated, because you know, I've got this visit with Onyx today at 3, and I'd really like to make it.
So, and I don't know for certain, and I'll be asking Chris later, but I wonder if at the time when he made this, if he didn't know about the firearm charge. There are people that have criticized him for not being transparent about that up front here in the comments. And let's see if I can get those most recent comments up. Oh, come on, load this data. You know you want to load that data. I think there's been like 100 comments on this post. I shared all these with him through text messages, so he knows that everybody is, how everyone's feeling out here. He knows that people are supporting him. Nicole, I told him what you said. Okay, he knows that you care. All right.
In a week, and hasn't seen his daddy in 2 weeks, and you know, and he's been looking forward to this visit just like I am. So guys, please help me get the fuck out as soon as possible.
Yeah, I've been doing everything I could
Who
for Chris,
is
man.
able to
Truth be told, he was pulled over in Satellite Beach, and I paid his, I
going
paid what I
to
could pay. I put a little money on his books. We've been in communication, sending him some text messages. I sent him some photos.
That's finally over. The outcome of it,
Oh,
it
goodness.
wasn't what.
Stop. Yeah, we've been grabbing some of these photos off of his page and then sending those to him, the ones with his kids in them. And yeah, cost a few bucks, I think, each photo, $1 or $2. Anyways, that's the story with Chris. That's the story with JP. Josh Martinez. I was doing some research on Josh Martinez, and I found this article. Where is it? Here it is. Las Vegas man sentenced for disorderly conduct at federal courthouse. So apparently Josh Martinez got arrested at the federal courthouse, and they told him he couldn't come back. Where is it? I know I read it on here somewhere. He refused to follow court security officer orders. So not even a cop. There was like a guard. I don't know what it was. Maybe he didn't like the metal detector. He was found guilty of creating a disturbance on federal property, ordered to stay away from the courthouse for 1 year. Come on, guys. That's funny. That's classic stuff right there. Josh Martinez got arrested at the health department. And I was watching on YouTube and shit, and I was pissed off. So I went the next day, I think it was, the very next day, and ran amok in there and shit, man. I told him, you guys had my friend arrested. You called the cops on him and shit, dude. I was giving him a hard time. And they said, you can't go back there or something like that. And I went every fucking, I was like, I'm going all over the damn place, so you guys can't stop me. I was just so mad. Here, looks like James Freeman did.
What's up, everybody? It's James Freeman. A few days ago, our good friend Joshua Martinez, YouTuber, cop watcher, auditor, was arrested in Las Vegas, Nevada by Department of Homeland Security in a joint effort with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI. The arrest was allegedly in reference to some Facebook posts that Josh had made, including this one, which depicts police officers carrying a flag-draped casket and the words, "How police officers take out their trash." On the post, it also reads, "I can't wait to see the news and hear that Detective Kenneth Meade is in that casket." Many people, including myself, may find this post distasteful, but it's certainly not illegal. It certainly doesn't make any threats. But why did Josh make this post? Who is Kenneth Meade? A quick search on Detective Kenneth Meade reveals two major stories. One, innocent father branded domestic terrorist for supporting the Constitution, and two, Las Vegas mass shooting. These are the two most notable cases that Detective Kenneth Meade is known for during his failed career at Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
So anyways, I'm sure that's a good video. I haven't seen it, and if you guys want to watch the rest of the video, you have to go over to James Freeman's channel and check it out over there. It's titled "The Facebook Post That Resulted in Multiple Felonies and a $1 million Bond." It's a true story. I don't know what he's about to say about this Detective Meade, but I do know that this Detective Meade was pretty much a psychopath that was haunting all of us. He took down Josh, and then he took down Auditing America, from what I understand. And then he was actually, I guess, he was there to take me to jail that day when he got Auditing America, but luckily I was not with them guys that day. It all worked out for my favor. But yeah, this Detective Meade guy thought he was going to take down all of us, I guess. He's retired now, but he played a part in the whole thing. That was one of the names that were on the meme that got Josh arrested. Oh, don't want to show this tab. That's my messenger. All right, we'll show you guys this one for now. Close out a couple tabs. So, anyways, I guess that concludes the show, everybody. We could look at some comments. I did a show about Chris Shellhammer yesterday or the day before, I think it was. This is a right to travel activist who got arrested by DPD a few days ago. I believe that Chris got back to me on some of my videos. Yeah, don't look at those analytics up there, guys, okay? Those are miserable. I need more clicks over here, so if y'all want to leave a comment, that will help. Tell me what you think. That will help. Let's see. Most recent. Oh, here he is. This guy, Chris, man, he's a Navy veteran. He got shot in the back. Not Navy. I don't remember what branch. I think it was Marines. It was Marines. I do remember because he gave me a token. And it has the Marines logo on it. So, yeah, he was a Marine. He got shot in his back over in Iraq. He should have been blown in half, but he lived and he walks sometimes. And the police dragged him across the ground. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the photos. Oh, I don't think I could readily pull up the photos for you guys. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't have them available. Maybe I can. Hold on. I'll see if I can show you guys some photos of the injuries to his feet. Here we go. Make sure you guys can see what I can see. All right, you can. Yeah, this is after several days. He had been home and resting and showered and everything, and these are some of the scabs that happened on his feet because they drug him across the ground like you wouldn't do to anything. And because his spine gave out because they mishandled him when they were taking him out of the car. And so they just assumed that he was doing like the auto flop or something. They further hurt his back. And they tore up his feet. I mean, they really, I don't know. All I could think is like, what's the difference between dragging this man from here to there across the asphalt in a manner that causes him this kind of injury? You know, what's the difference really between that and like dragging this guy behind a car? YouTube, this is just for like conversational purpose. Obviously, I don't want any harm to come to anybody. I don't like what happened to the Chris here. And he was glad I did a show, I guess. I just wanted to read some of the things, man, how devout this guy is. He's been almost killed. And now he's about willing to die for his right to just travel freely across this country. And he says, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. He says, I have found myself an activist on the front lines of family court reform, equal parenting, because the video was about the frontline accountability activism. So this is what he said. I have found myself an activist on the front lines of family court reform, equal parenting, traveling rights, First Amendment, Second Amendment, animal rights, sons and daughters' rights, police accountability, environmental restoration, veterans, and truly so many more. Whatever my hand findeth to do. And all in all, I'm just the next American nobody. And I should reply back to him, but I'm not sure that I have the words right this second, and I want to be thoughtful when I reply to him. So maybe you guys could come in here and give him a reply on this video and tell him thanks. Thanks for his service in these areas. Thanks for his service in the military. Thanks for his sacrifice getting shot in the back. Thanks for his sacrifice going to jail this last week, fighting for the right to travel. You know, the police officers, I believe they said, well, what I need to know is why you're traveling with so many dogs with you, I guess is what they told him. So, oh, my battery's going to die. Hold on. Oh, my microphone was about to die. Glad I caught that. Boop, 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 boop. Gotta plug this in right now. I know I got a cable right nearby. I need to get this microphone satisfied. Okay, there, we got it. Did you guys like that little tune I made there? I plugged it in before it died. And now my stream's been saved alive. No, I'm just fucking. Hey, I'm going to read a couple more of these chats, though, man. I think this guy deserves a little bit of respect. If you wanted to head over there to the YouTube channel, Voices of the Silenced, on YouTube, you could check out Chris's comments on this video right here, Frontline Accountability. That's at Copwatch_Chronicle on YouTube. And tell Chris thank you. Tell Chris we hope you get well soon, man. Tell Chris thanks for putting up the fight, because this man, he is like the super nicest guy. He doesn't get irate with cops. And we will be getting the body camera footage, because I can't wait to show it. I showed you guys some of his body camera footage on one of his last stops. And I believe some of the courtroom footage. He doesn't get like me. He doesn't protest them or nothing. He knows his life is on the line, and he he treats it respectfully. A couple of adjustments he says he wanted to make about my statements. All happened outside of my ride. I wasn't stopped by the cops, so he was actually getting food, and that's why they weren't in the vehicle with the dogs. And that's sort of, I may have misstated him getting stopped. Like, he wasn't driving. He was stopped by the animal control, and then the cops. It all sort of escalated. He had just come out of a local eatery grabbing a to-go nibble and found that someone had made a concerned call about some animals he left in the truck. The video shows that the gentleman was acting out of compassion with the knowledge that he had, but not enough to discern the difference between farm work animals and urban apartment pets. A simple misunderstanding turned into a harmful situation by improper training and unprofessional actions by emotionally uncontrolled authorities with an authority complex. I'm an infantry United States Marine, Fallujah veteran, and he knows authority. My choice to act was not set on the right to travel, but to protect the constitutional rights of all man, animal, and plant. It started when the Arkansas Family Court attacked me through the excessive force and lies. We see our issues are multiple heads of the dragon. You guys, go over here and leave them some comments back, would you? Thank you to all who take a concern with any of the issues where people are harmed, child, woman, and man. And then he said, thank you, brother. Hello, Josephine Pisculi. Thank you for stopping by and leaving comments. Poor Weed Farmer, thank you for being a part of it all. Gio, shout out, man. Thank you all for being here. And I just want to leave a couple thumbs before we leave this page. Boop, 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 boop. Da, 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 da. I'm loving it. Oh, you guys couldn't see any of that? What happened? Don't tell me you guys couldn't see none of that. I'm serious right now. I'm telling you, I messed that up, man. But Here's Chris's comments. If you guys couldn't see him at the time, I really don't know. This is Bridget. This is his caretaker right here. This is Chris Shellhammer, the Marine veteran. He's got a green C over here. So in case you guys missed any of that, this is Joseph Pisculi and Porter Farmer, Geo. You guys know who you are, man. Thank you all for being a part of it. You have rights. Love you too. Sorry if I hadn't got the screen share right there on that part. Oh my God, I did it again. No way. How come you guys aren't telling me in the comments? Let me double check this time. No, it wasn't showing. Okay. Mic check. Okay, we're good on the mic. Okay. Here's the screen. This is Bridget. This is Chris. He's got the green C. And just that. Well, I think that concludes the show, guys. Let me come over here and check my notes again. Remember, Chris's felony firearm charges have been dropped. His next court date is the 30th of the month. I'm not sure if there's a virtual way to attend. Let me just look for that, actually, before I let y'all go. Is Facebook Live? Hey, is anybody watching on the Amazing Audits page on Facebook? Let me switch over there. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see, too. Is there a virtual appearance? Brevard County virtual court hearings for the 18th Judicial Circuit use Microsoft Teams rather than Zoom. Anyways, I'll check this out and we'll see if we can find a virtual link. Yeah, they have the Teams app, I guess. You could download it on flcourts18.org. Brevard Civil Traffic. That might be it. I'll have to weed it down to see for sure. Not sure if this is the one, but yeah. We'll get the link together and everything so we could attend his court date. Virtually. I was thinking about having a call with him. We could do a visit. It might cost a few bucks, but I think I could wing it. I'm sure gonna need some help when I go to my court hearing later this year down in Mississippi. Oh, what a beautiful picture. Oh my. Lovely children. All right, I did a show about Chris. Right here, the frontline activism one. Let's see if I could let you guys talk about. Okay. And in the description of this video over here, Frontline Accountability, Exposing Medical Overreach and Systemic Misconduct on the Voices of the Silenced YouTube channel, you could find all the links for Christopher Griffin. I'm going to put them in the chat right now. Actually, this is the only one with Christopher Griffith's. Go ahead and put it in the chat for you guys. If you want to send him something to make his life more comfortable, do it on icaregifts.com. I just put the link in the chat. Let's see. I think there was more to say. I have more tabs open. Let's just stop sugarcoating what we're dealing with, guys. You know, like in the First Amendment, accountability movement, our entire leverage, our only currency, guys, the only thing we have is absolute unyielding transparency, right? We stand on public sidewalks with cameras rolling. We're facing armed police officers, government officials, and court systems demanding that every single action taken in the name of the law be brought to the clear light of day. So what happens when the very person standing beside you claiming to fight for that same constitutional accountability is operating in the shadows, guys? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about JP, the man behind Prince Vegeta News and Travel Las Vegas. For months and years, this individual presented himself as a dedicated member of our community. He took the clout, he took the clicks, the views. He took the respect of people who put their safety, their reputations, and their freedom on the line for First Amendment auditing. But while he was enjoying the benefits of being a part of this movement, court developments in Las Vegas revealed a reality that every single activist and viewer needed to hear, but didn't get to hear it at the time when it was necessary. And it's late now, right? The case is closed. Josh has been hurt. You know, everything's closed up, but I think that you guys have the right to know and the right to give some input on it. JP was listed as a state and or federal prosecution witness. He was subpoenaed by the government in the case against Josh Martinez, guys, and he told Josh, which actually could have been a harm to Josh. So here's the thing too, right? Josh, he was a witness for the state, and so he contacted Josh. So if Josh is talking to the witness, that could be witness tampering. So he never should have contacted Josh and told him. But to him, though, telling Josh was all that mattered. It was between him and Josh, and you guys didn't need to know about it. And I just want you to think about the sheer weight of that statement, you know? Josh Martinez was jailed under federal scrutiny and facing terrorism-related allegations in Las Vegas. And while the federal government was assembling its legal machinery to put an activist away, JP was cooperating with the prosecution. And he didn't say a single word to the community about it. Allegedly. Allegedly. I did actually talk with JP earlier this night before this very show, and I did confirm that JP did not disclose to the community about a subpoena that he did receive when the government did ask him to testify against Josh Martinez, and he said he's just keeping it between them. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think about that. I thought it was a story, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. You know, if you're going to talk to federal agents, if you're going to sit down with state prosecutors, or, you know, you're going to keep a secret that will help them right? If you're going to stay silent about something that you knew could have helped Josh if you talked about it and it would have hurt the government, you owe the public immediate full disclosure. You don't get to play both sides of the fence. You don't get to film police accountability content by day and coordinate to help the prosecutors by night, man. Right? Allegedly. We're not going to sit back in this movement and let it be infiltrated and be compromised or undermined from within. We demand answers. We demand his answers. We demand them right now. Look, everybody tuning in to Copwatch Chronicle knows that I don't throw around allegations lightly. And when I speak from experience, from facts, and from what can be verified. But what we learned today about JP of Prince Vegeta News strikes at the very heart of everything we stand for. Let's break this down. Let's break down the ethics. The First Amendment community is rooted in constitutional principles. You know, we preach about the First, or the Fourth, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. We tell people never talk to law enforcement, never give up your rights, never to aid the government in targeting peaceful civil rights advocates. Yet while Josh Martinez was sitting in a Las Vegas detention center battling federal charges, or I'm not sure they were federal charges either, so let me correct that right there. These were state charges, I believe, and I think the feds were involved, so that's my understanding. I told JP that there was going to be a show about this, so I don't know if he's in the comments, but he's free to chime in about that if he wants to. But I think the feds were involved with trying to get Josh with bigger charges. And from what I understand, they're hiding behind the Jenks Act. So that very fact alone could mean that they were trying to bring up other people on charges, right? The Jenks Act has something to do with like protecting witnesses in cases where they're complicated cases or something like that, where the witnesses could be harmed. Man, that's a trip that screen is moving though. Anyways, so, something's happening on my computer. I was wondering what that's all about. But yeah, so the fact is there might have been other activists. We don't know. This could have involved High Desert Community Watch, or it could have involved me or Chase or Auditing America. We really don't know how deep this actually goes. I asked JP if he had any meetings with Detective Meade. I just asked him, you know, I wasn't accusing him of anything. I thought it was an open, just, you know, it was just a question. Wanted to know. And he said he was not in cooperation with Detective Meade or anything like that. I think he wants an apology, but I was just checking up on information my source had provided. So I wasn't making allegations. Everything is alleged. Nothing has been fully fleshed out. I'm not saying these are facts in any way. Most of this is my opinion. And some of the facts I have vetted today. So now ask yourself, why was this kept a secret? You know, if JP was sitting in a Las Vegas detention center battling federal charges, I mean, I'm sorry, if JP felt he was legally compelled, or if he believed he had nothing to hide, why didn't he go live on his channel the moment he spoke to investigators? Why didn't he publish a statement saying, hey, community, the feds approached me about Josh. They're trying to put him away, and here's what happened. I just wanted all you guys to know because you deserve to know, because transparency, because we're not going to let the bad actors get away with harming one of our friends, right? Sorry, I got to get a drink, guys. After about an hour of talking, Throat get dry. Throat get mighty dry. Hope we got the audio levels good. Remember the Bad Actors album? Remember our veteran friend, Don Matthews, needs some help down in coastal Texas. But I need you guys to ask yourself, why did JP keep this a secret? Why did he believe he had to hide this from the community? I'm just wondering. Silence is an admission that you know what you did was wrong, right? Silence proves that you knew the community would hold you accountable if they found out. And I think he chose to hide it because he wanted to keep collecting views, guys. I don't know. Actually, let's think about it. He's monetized on YouTube, I think. He's trying to get clicks and views on YouTube. So it almost doesn't make sense that he wouldn't talk about this. See, he had every incentive to talk about this because that would have drawn the community around this, and he probably could have gotten more views because this is kind of, a big thing. Lots of people were talking about Josh Martinez and his case. It just makes you wonder why he didn't do that to collect views and like build out his platform. He could have kept pretending to be a First Amendment advocate, but he actively stayed silent about it, which I believe aided the prosecution. That's not activism. That's not independent media. This is betrayal of public trust. And we're putting a spotlight on it today, guys. Let's take a look at how federal prosecutions operate when they target independent media and constitutional activists. The feds don't just build cases out of thin air. They look for weak links. They look for individuals within a group or network who are vulnerable, easily swayed, or willing to trade information for self-preservation. When Josh Martinez was taken into custody in Las Vegas on high-level charges, the government was looking for anything they could use to build a narrative. And apparently they thought that JP was useful to their case. That's why they issued a subpoena, because they were going to have him testify in court against Josh Martinez. Okay? Now, my source tells me that the prosecutor had he was going to get more time if Josh was found guilty. So ultimately, we're thinking that Josh took the plea deal because the prosecutor was going to use something like this. We don't know what they were going to use him for. And they had something that they were going to use against Josh Martinez that was going to get him like 10 years in prison. So, that had something to do with why Josh took the plea deal, and this all kind of got swept under the rug and everything, right? Josh had to plead guilty, or he was going to do 10 years is what it basically looked like. And there's people out there staying quiet like JP, Prince Vegeta News, who are helping the feds do their prosecution. I don't know what to say about it. I'm not sitting in judgment, I don't think he's a rat. I don't think he did nothing. I'm wondering what you guys think. I'm just asking questions, It seems like instead of standing firm on his constitutional rights, instead of invoking his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, instead of demanding a lawyer and refusing to aid in the prosecution of a colleague, did JP cooperate, or was he going to? And then they didn't need him later on. And so I asked him about that. How long was it between the time that you received the subpoena and they questioned you, which he said they did over the phone. And but he says it was the next day that they told him that he wouldn't be needed and that he was, I guess, released from his subpoena. That's my understanding from my conversation with JP earlier today. But we are going to make some records requests. I do have a step-by-step guide on how we're going to get every single piece of witness list and uh, agent or LVMPD officer reporting on this entire thing. You know, so I've already been studying with my AI here, and we're going to start making records requests like here on the show probably in a couple minutes. Let me scroll down my notes here so we could pull up the first website, which I think was LVMPD records request and FOIA tracker. Oh, I have a FOIA tracker I'm going to show you guys later. So prior to this broadcast, our team extended a formal request for a comment to JP of Prince Vegeta News, which is now Liberty Lens Audit. So he's still doing the First Amendment thing. Let me show you that just to prove it. This is his Instagram page right here. I did click the link to go to the YouTube, but the link is broken. So not sure about that. But anyways, yeah, earlier this day, before the broadcast, within an hour of the broadcast, he gave us a response, and that's where I'm giving you the information that I got from him just to try to clarify these matters. So the next thing I have to do is some records requests. We're going to do some FOIA requests with the LVMPD, asking for formal public records. LVMPD, the clerk offices, and we're going to ask for the 911 dispatch logs and everything related to Josh's case. The CAD reports, public lobby video. I'll be keeping you guys updated on Facebook as things come in, when they get submitted, when they're under review. You know, and so that brings me to the next portion of the show, which is where I wanted to talk about your rights. And if this ever happens to you and you're out filming and the police pull you aside and they're like, hey, you know, if you talk or whatever, right? If you talk, we'll take these other guys, we let you go, or some fucking shit like that. They've got some cruel and unusual plot to try to get you to cooperate with them. This is the Know Your Rights protocol, guys, for independent media, okay? The very first rule: never answer questions or give statements to investigators regarding fellow journalists without your lawyer present, guys. Okay? It's very important that you protect yourself and protect the community, too, that you're working with. Second rule: immediately notify defense attorneys if you're approached by law enforcement regarding an ongoing case involving another cop, watcher, activist, auditor, or whatever it is you're doing. Maintain complete transparency with your audience and community when contacted by government agents. That's rule number 3. So if your lawyer tells you not to talk about the case, that may be one thing. You should ask him about how you disclose this to your public audience, since you are a public activist. Just want to give you guys some next steps on this. The structured follow-up for our serialized coverage plan is going to be, you'll probably hear from us next on July 30th. I'm going to try to cover the Chris Griffin court case and possible release from his next hearing. We may live stream that if it's legal. Not trying to break the law or nothing. We'll do part 2 of this investigation. A follow-up episode. Maybe we'll bring JP on and talk to him if he wants to come on. I did ask him, but he says that for personal reasons, he has already offered the interview to somebody else. He wasn't wanting to do an interview with me about it tonight. And he didn't sound like he wanted to do it with me in the future. He said that was off the table. So we will reach out to him again. Maybe he wants to talk about it, clear some things up. there's really not much to clear up at this point, to be honest. I mean, I will invite him on the show if he wants to talk, but the basic line, all we need now is to know how you guys feel about him keeping these things a secret. Everything else has already been done. We already vetted the information. We got his response. He said these things are true, but he was not cooperating with them. He denied that. He said that he likes Josh. Josh was cool with him. He told the police that Josh was a cool guy, apparently. That's what he told me. So I guess that's, you know, something you would say to cops if they were asking you, right? So we reached out to JP. We'll reach out to him again. We're going to ask for the official court dockets, witness list, entries. I'll be presenting a FOIA tracker so you guys can see where this information is coming together, how that's coming together on Facebook. That's about it. So I just want you guys to have a good night. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you tuning in. This has been a special broadcast of Copwatch Chronicle presented by Mr. Amazing. And you guys stay free out there. You stay strong. Stay quiet when the police are trying to question you. Never talk to cops. And that's all I had to say. So everybody have a good night. And with that, you know what we do around here. Boop, 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 wee, woo.